Well, I've got one recently. So upright grapple. So we sold one, we built one, sold it last year to a hay producer through a dealer down in Nevada. He found that as he was operating it, he needed to make a few adjustments to the grapples, and then also he got a new telehandler recently, and also realizing that as he's loading trucks or as he's stacking, a couple of little changes on angles of things. Working with the customer being willing to work with us, and not just throwing his hands up and saying, what, the heck with it. Being willing to call us up and us taking that feedback and making it better. Being able to make the upright grapple, make it better so that as those hooks go in, they don't push the bales out and pull the bundles apart. And also when they're loading and stacking, they're getting the right angles, they're getting the right tilt, everything is working as efficiently as possible for them. And it's because we've taken the time to take their phone call, to work through it with them. So that would be one, I think, just very recent example of re-engineering something.
So we started building box scrapers 3 years ago, and we noticed that there was a huge demand for bigger box scrapers. And so we built this one farm, a pretty big box scraper. I think it was a 12-foot box scraper. And they're like, well, we only have all these big tractors that we're going to hook them up to. And I'm like, so can you put the big enough quick attachment so that we can just hook it up to our big tractors without any spacers or special pins? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's easy. Well, I didn't realize when you go to the bigger, I didn't realize they were going to abuse this box scraper so much. So they had a 400 horse tractor pushing around a 12-foot box scraper made for about a 200 horse tractor. They were moving snow with it, hitting banks and stuff with it, and it completely destroyed that box scraper. It's still in the back, it's bent in half. And I thought, well, we'll stand by it, we'll warranty it, we'll build them another one. And so we redesigned it, put some more metal into it, gave it back to them and said, I dare you to break this one, and they haven't broke it yet. So realizing what farmers are capable of, and if you put a bigger mount on that fits a 400 horse tractor, that equipment better hold up to 400 horses. So
I think I was at that farm yesterday.
Yeah.
We won't say who it was.
No, they're good people.
They are. No, they really are.
For us to learn from our we learn more from our mistakes than our success. And so to humble yourself and say, yeah, we messed up, we'll do it again, and it costs us some money, and it costs us some metal, but in the end, we have a better product for it. I don't know if this specifically, but I do love how we're able to have lunch with all the guys here. So we'll bring in some food, usually pretty good, and we'll make some food and just watch those boys just pound that food like you couldn't believe. I don't know where half of it goes, but when you're buying 40 pounds of brisket and there's 10 of them and they eat it all, you're just like, wow. So, being able to share food with these guys, sitting down, laugh and have jokes and play, and then also get down and do all the work, it's a good atmosphere.
Maybe our most recent Christmas party. And we have a gag gift that will get passed around moving forward. I was the first recipient of the gag gift.
We'll share that TikTok later.
We'll share that TikTok later, yeah. So that's probably the funnest, my funnest shop moment. It was at a Christmas party. But I agree with Robert, for us to, we'll occasionally, pull everybody together, have a lunch, feed all these guys, and because without them, like I can go out and I can sell it all day long. Robert can go sell it all day long, and we can design and everything else, and Curtis and everything else. But at the end of the day, these guys are doing the grunt work. They're putting it together, they're building it, and bringing ideas to us, on how to maybe tweak a few things here and there to help a little easier in the build process and to make things more efficient. But yeah, that's probably my favorite too. Favorite shop moment, I guess.
One of the hay forks we built it always made me mad in the beginning. I could not figure out how they were building this hay fork so cheap and selling it for so cheap. And everybody bought it because it was cheap, but it would break every time. And every time you saw one, it was already broken and bent. And so it frustrated me that I couldn't provide a better product cheaper. And so thinking about it and working through it, we finally came up with a solution. And it is the same price as the other manufacturer's hay fork, but it is, I would say it's double the hay fork in quality. We put way more steel in it. It's not a huge moneymaker for us, but it is a great solution for all those farmers that want a cheaper, more economical hay fork. But in the end, it's twice the hay fork as the competitor. So
here a few weeks ago, I was down on a farm with a customer who bought a land roller from us, and it's a 3-section folding land roller. And knowing this particular farmer, if somebody can use it and abuse it, he does. Running over a lot of ground, and he's ran other manufacturers, other land rollers, and he told me, he said there's nothing better than your land roller. Well built, very sturdy, holds up, and so I think just being able to hear that, and then I got a call the other day also from a guy that bought one 8 years ago, back a long time ago. He's still running it, still loves it, still holding up, hasn't had to do much of anything to it. Getting that feedback, from a customer, for a product that's held up. Land rollers don't get used a ton. They don't get used all year long. They have a very specific purpose. And but for it to hold up and do the job, on day one, and then be able to do the job 9 years later, do that same job the same way as efficiently as possible. I think that speaks volumes to our quality and our craftsmanship.
So I think what mostly sets us apart is we'll listen to the customer. A lot of times they've got these wild ideas, and so we'll bring them in, sit them down with Curtis, get it drawn up, get it engineered, and then we can build it. I know that's one key part in this. Other part is our ability to fix things. Growing up on the farm, I've seen just about every kind of wild break that you can think of, and being able to understand how to fix it and make it work is another key aspect. The equipment that we build, we want to stand behind it. We build things stronger than they should, heavier than they need to be, but in the end, they'll hold together better if they're well built. Every time we find the one that's broken, okay, we need to do a little bit better, but it also ultimately gives us a better product in the end. A good example is our hay spears. We don't buy cheap ones. There's mountains and mountains of cheap hay spears out there that bend pretty easily. Well, the ones that we have, honestly, I don't think our policy is if you ever bend it, bring it back and we'll give you another one. I think I've only given out 2. It's really, they're not that easy to bend, but they do bend. Depends on what you're doing, right? But ultimately, we want to stand behind our product. I don't think every weld is perfect, but we try to do our best to stand behind our product, to produce a good quality product, and to be able to withstand the environment that it's going to go through.
And if it does need to be welded in the field, we can send a welder out. We know a guy.
I will go and I will weld.
The other thing I like about our hay forks that I think sets us apart is the flexibility to be able to use it from one machine to a different machine. So if we build a set of high back hay forks that go on, let's say a JCB telehandler, well, that has a very specific, it's got a Q-fit mount on it. And if they change out for some reason and they switch to a JLG telehandler or a different brand or whatever, and it has a different mount. Well, our hay forks, Curtis, and Robert, they've designed this and engineered it so that we can just unbolt that mount and build the correct mount that fits up to your new machine and bolt that back on and just swap that out. And that makes life easier because now the farmer, in the end of the day, it helps the farmer save money because the farmer doesn't have to go through and replace 10 attachments. You know, they just go through and they're just changing out a mount. They're just changing out a hook.
Chris talked about the roller that we built. It was one of the earlier rollers that we built, and I had never seen anything like it. And talking with him and working through it all, Curtis drew it up late at night, and I was here at the shop by myself welding it together, and you know, it worked. It works great, and he loves it. You know, with that, we made a relationship. You know, he's one of our good customers. He comes back quite often. Every year he sends us something to fix or to build, and we're happy to do it. He's a great customer, and being able to build those kind of relationships with those farmers out there and know that they can bring us anything and we'll get it fixed and right back to them. I think it takes a lot of stress off of their plate of, well, this is broken now, what do we do? And so, you know, if we're able to help them save money and do things to make their job easier, you know, that's what we'll do.
I'll go back to the upright grapple, you know, that I delivered it to the farm. We set it up, we tested it, you know, we're able to do some, you know, get some pictures and videos and everything and of it working. And then a few days later, he sent me, the farmer, the guy the end user, sent me some pictures of it loading a truck. And he said, man, this is perfect. It fits perfectly in the back of these trucks as they're loading these dry vans and containers. And just hearing that and knowing that they have a problem, we have a solution, and we're able to help them with that, and we're dependable. That really is the biggest thing at the end of the day. That they can depend on us to build quality product, help them out in a pinch, get them back up and running if they need it, you know, when they need it. It's not an if, it's a when in farming, you know, because it's going to break down.
So, I don't know. In the beginning, we started this business, and Christine said, as long as we can help people, we can give them a job, we can give them an income. Growing up on a farm, everybody helped on the farm. Everybody worked, everybody drove tractors, everybody chopped weeds, changed water. And I haven't lost that feeling of everybody does everything here. So Sam, the oldest, he'll come in and he'll weld brackets and he'll do stainless and he'll do anything, run these machines behind me. Amy comes in, cleans the bathrooms and does what she needs to. And Mark, he'll come in and help with brackets. And then the younger ones, well, they'll get there. But ultimately, having family involved make this a lot more special. There's thousands of teaching moments that we can give to our kids. And in a shop, in a welding shop, is almost as good as a farm to teach those kids how to work and how to be productive. I think they're pretty amazed on what we have grown here. It's hard not to go back to the family farm. And I never asked, and my wife did. I asked my dad, was not going back to the farm good or bad? Was me not going home to take over the farm, was my dad sad or happy that I didn't? And he said he was proud of me for going out on my own. He said I wouldn't have grown as big as I've grown if I hadn't have pushed myself to do what I did. And so if I'd gone home to the family farm, it would have been easy. Just kind of relax and just go through the flow. But pushing me out, but forcing me to do things on my own made me grow bigger and made us grow as a company and myself as a business owner.